This is FXRBS with ForexSimplified.com. Tonight we will be talking about converging patterns from multiple time frames. This is good technique where we can find strong support and resistance levels of coming from a higher time frame, and based on this support or resistance area we can search for better trading opportunities on a smaller time frame, so we can kind of fine-tune the entry and use smaller stop. I would like to present an example. This is an 8-hour chart. When we trade larger time frames, even when we have convergence, still here we need to assume that price will not really stop at that exact price, but rather a little larger price range. Here you guys can see that we have 786 with 127 convergence. Now this is for those who have attended the Gartley class a couple of weeks ago. This is bearish Gartley. I will type the letters. We have the X here at the top at 94.57. We're looking at 8-hour Aussie Canadian chart. Here we have the A, we have a B, we have a C, and the expected D, where price is supposed to reverse and start trading bearish, is here at this convergence, 786 and 127. Now if we zoom out, we can see that here we have strong support becoming resistance level. It is here in this whole range that a price can stop. We can't say it will stop exactly at 92.64, for example. It might, but we should not assume that if price does not reverse exactly at this level that this pattern is failing. Now what we can do is, once we determine this range here, let's say it's 92.40 to 92.90, we can go to smaller time frame and then look for bearish opportunity or bearish pattern. It can be bearish head and shoulders, bearish butterfly, bearish crab, but we need bearish reversal pattern. And again, the reversal patterns are head and shoulders, crab, butterfly. And why do we need reversal pattern? Is because the small time frame is being in an uptrend, and we need to be reversing, meaning that since price has been going bullish and we expect at some level price to turn bearish, that means that we're looking for reversal pattern. And let's see what we have. We said that we're looking for bearish pattern. We said that we will be looking for a bearish pattern here in this range between 92.40, 92.90. Let me go here. and I will draw a couple of horizontal lines between 90 to 40. We said 90 to 90. Now this is the range here where we will be looking for bearish opportunity, because based on the 8-hour chart, this is strong resistance area. Now what we can see is bearish crap being developed at this level. The convergence is 1618 with 2618, and we expect the D to emerge somewhere at 9270, 9280. The convergence is actually 75 and 78, very, very close convergence. And note that this is 1-hour chart, and for 1-hour chart and crap, this is very, very good convergence here. Now, how do we approach this kind of trade? Now, there is a couple of ways. First, we can place the pivot lines. Now we can see that we have a pivot currently, resistance 3 at 93.08. So I will place a horizontal line, and my entry in this case would be somewhere here, 92.72, 92.73, just below that convergence. Where would I place my limit or my stop? My stop would go above this horizontal line that I placed for coming from the resistance 3 from the daily pivots. Now the daily pivot is my resistance, 9300 is a round number, and it will provide additional resistance. So we're going to place the stop above this level. So the stop will go at 93.20, about 15 pips above the resistance. Entry, we said, here would be 92.73. Now, this is the one way to approach the trade. Second way is we can wait for bearish candlestick formation. It can be an evening star, tweezer tops. It can be bearish engulfing candle. Any kind of bearish candlestick formation, and place the stop 15 pips above the high of the candle. Now, if the candle formation is being formed at a slow market, let's say end of Asia or something like that, when there is not very big volatility, we might have the chance that this candle will be small. So if price is trading near this level and the market is slow, we can wait for the bearish candlestick formation. If we are in the middle of a session where during UK or US, we most likely are going to see price coming to touch that level, making a wick and just dropping. If the pattern is good, most of the time we'll see very big pressure at this level. We have big convergence. Don't forget, we have an 8-hour converging with the 1 hour. Very nice convergence. We have a pivot lines here. This level is a strong level. We have the 9300. So in case like this, we'll most likely in a more volatile market, we'll see a big move. And if we wait for candlestick formation to emerge, most likely is that this candlestick formation will be too large, and we might not be able to actually take the trade. Those resistance levels are those are pivot lines. There was a question of how we get those resistance levels. Those are daily pivot lines. And you guys have them on FibTrader? Yes. So we'll place the stop if we're during the session. Best thing to do is place the stop above the resistance, enter at price level, stay with the trade. Now, if there was an announcement and price was close to the entry level, and we had an announcement that is moving price against us, and we see a large candles going bullish, this is a good time that we will pass on the trade. We don't want to trade against the news. Now, if price was way far of the entry when the news announcement was pronounced, it is safe for us to enter the trade, because what is going to happen is this news announcement, even if it's against our entry, will push the markets most likely to this resistance area, and then we'll see a drop as fast as it went up. So again, the way we converge those patterns is we find the resistance level on the bigger time frame. Once we find this level, the way for us to enter is by looking for another pattern on smaller time frame. We can find bearish head and shoulders here and trade based on trading head and shoulders. Now, if we want to enter the bearish Gartley, we would require to place a stop somewhere either above the X or at least above the 86. Either above the even above the 86, the stop will be too large, because this is an 8-hour chart. The best way to approach is confirming the trade on a smaller time frame. Do you guys have any questions so far? Now, there is a few indicators we can use for the confirmation. The one is, as we said, the pivot lines. We can look for a pivot line to converge with the entry, pivot line to help us with the stop. We can also use MACD divergence. We can see how price is continuing in a bullish move here. And at the same time, MACD is trying to make lower highs. This is MACD divergence, and it is indication of price being exhausted and getting ready to reverse. So when we see something like this, this will confirm that price will be moving in our direction, or bearish. Price will be reversing. This is very good signal for us to confirm the trade and trade with more confidence. The question is, what time frame am I trading with two converging patterns? Well, I would be looking for the larger pattern to be either on a 4-hour, 8-hour, or a daily chart. And then I would like to find an entry on 1-hour chart. If we're trading a daily, I mean if the bigger pattern is on a daily chart, we can still use a little bigger time frame like a 2-hour chart. If we're trading the bigger time frame of 4-hour chart, then we can go lower to 1-hour or even 30-minute chart to look for confirming pattern. So if your larger pattern is on a 4-hour chart, then you look for a smaller pattern on 30 minutes or 1 hour. If it's on a daily, you can go to 1 hour or 2 hours. Now, the one mistake a lot of traders do is they will see this pattern. I can't show it here on chart, but they would go to a smaller time frame, zoom out as much as they can, and they go and they'll draw exactly the same pattern. So they will converge the same pattern on 2 time frames. So here we go. We found a Gartler on, let's say, 2 hours or 4-hour chart. This is exactly the same pattern. You just had expand the chart. So you haven't done anything different than what you've done on the 8-hour. What you need to do is go and find completely different pattern that is converging its entry level with the entry area of the larger time frames pattern. Well, this is how Guru is asking, why do I have to signal lines on the MACD? MACD is supposed to look like this. If you're using MetaTrader or maybe a different software, they can have some weird MACDs. That's not a real MACD. This is how a MACD is supposed to look like. It has 2 lines and a histogram. So far, any questions, guys? Let me read. Lee is asking very good question. Would you set your initial limits based upon the 1 hour pattern with the intention of continuing through the 8 hour limits? This is all question of our account management. If we can afford the lots or the sizes to put in the trade, I would do. If I don't, I would go only with the limits for the smaller time frame, because those are the first targets that will be hit. And as a newer trader, it is best to avoid long-term trades. If you have the capital or the experience to stay in one trade, what you will do is, let's say we have a few limits for the 8 hour chart, and probably the limits for the 1 hour chart are somewhere here. We'll have all the, let's say, 5 or 6 limits with that same entry. But this is all based on how much capital we have. Now, another thing we can do is trade smaller sizes than what we normally do if we don't have all those money. Let's say if you normally are trading one standard lot or one mini lot, but you want to place 6 targets. Well, instead of trading one standard lot, you can trade 6 minis or 10 minis and separate all those 10 lots over those 6 targets, and have 6 targets with the same amount of money, and you'll have the same amount of risk. If you're trading normally mini lots, you'll do the same with micros. Now, if you can't squeeze in that, best thing to do is to just focus on the closest targets to you. Yes, because of the, Victor is asking, is this trade good because of the support and resistance? But on a 1 hour chart, even if I see a pattern on a 30 minutes or 15 minute or 1 hour chart somewhere, and I see it might has perfect convergence, if that pattern is not converging with stronger level on a higher time frame, there is absolutely no point for me to be trading that pattern. And this is why I always start from the higher time frame, and if I find resistance level or support level on that time frame, I know that this is the area where I want to trade. And in this case, here is where I want to sell. I don't want to be selling here, I don't want to be selling here, I don't want to be selling anywhere else. I might find bearish butterfly here, I might find bearish head and shoulders here, I might find all different kinds of patterns all the way from here to here, but I wouldn't trade it because I know that this is the area where I want to find a pattern. And if I can catch this level and take my 3 limits for that small pattern and then 3 for the big pattern, with one trade like this, probably you'll make money for 2 months of normal trading. Now, those good patterns don't happen every day, of course, but also there is a lot of pairs where we can be searching for patterns to converge like that. I will spread probably 60% between the first 3 targets, and then the other 40 for the rest. For the other 3 targets. What time frame do I start to find a pattern? A daily time frame, 8-hour or 4-hour chart. Now you can see the same pattern here on 8-hour or 4-hour chart. It doesn't matter on what time frame you'll see it. It's absolutely up to you and how best looks to you. Now here, if we look at the 8-hour, we see a lot less candles, less noise, and we can also see the previous support becoming resistance area, and we have a lot bigger picture. If I look at the 4-hour chart, I might miss half of those details. You know what I'm saying, guys? But the best part, I mean the most important part in this is the equity management, and we can't allow us to overtrade the account. Even if we want 6 targets, that means that we need to scale out and we need to trade smaller size. And I'm looking at the JPYs. Finally, those JPYs are moving bullish. Have been waiting all day for those guys. Yeah, they probably, as soon as you left the trade, and they would start moving in that direction, did they? Yeah, we've been trading that trade together. Anyhow, I'm looking at the news calendar, and in about 1 hour, the monetary policy meeting for the Aussie. So guys, you need to pay attention to this one. The bad thing is that all pairs are already moving, and probably we won't have good opportunities. By all pairs, I mean the JPYs and the Aussie. This is what I'm watching over the Asian session. But Aussie JPY is moving. And probably the Aussie dollar as well. Here is where we had the entry with Lee, it was here, right? It's been moving all day up and down, up and down. Hopefully it will break bullish now. But now if the pairs stay in this range over the next 1 hour, it will be good for us. Let's say we see consolidation here over the next hour. Now this is 1 hour chart, but my 10-minute chart is too busy. I'll go to it anyways. What we want to see in order for us to be able to trade the news in an hour is a price consolidating here. And since this is very strong area of resistance, all day price has been bouncing off this pivot line, I would place a stop buy order just above this area. As long as price stays below the resistance before the news announcement, I would place a buy stop above. And if the news are positive for the Aussie, we will see a strong move in Aussie JPY. Now we don't want to be taking too much profit. Here we have support becoming resistance area near 2620. This is where we want to take first profit, 2620 area. Let's see where the next pivot line is. Next pivot line is 2620. This is just perfect. Look at it, 7620. I said 2620 a few times. 7620. We want to be taking profit just below that level. So if price breaks above, this is where we profit. Let's say our entry would be 75. I would say 75.85 or 75.90 with about 25 to 30 pips stop. So the stop will be somewhere inside this consolidation, so it's protected. So what we want to see is positive announcement for the Aussie. That means strong economy. They might be raising interest rates soon. We want to hear stuff like this. Probably some of you guys will be reading it. Or just have your stop orders here, because by the time you maybe read it, price will go already moving. But after you end the trade and you see positive news, then you would know that you want to stay at least probably for till the end of the session, because this will provide the pair with direction pretty much to the end of the session. So stay for a few hours in that trade. So what we want to do is wait, see if in an hour price is near that resistance level, place stop buy 75.90, about 25 to 30 pips stop. First target 76.18, and then the next target in a few hours. Yes, Lee, we would get majority out here at this level, and then if price continues, we can run until the close to the end of the session. We want to make sure that we close the trade before London opens. Sometimes even when news are positive, we would see a wick and price might retrace back. And if this happens, we want to make sure that we have taken some profit here. And most likely this is the area where it will stop the price if price stops. we have absolutely similar setup with Aussie USD. Do you guys have any further questions? I know I might have threw you all off with this setup here. It's completely different of what we talked, but this is the opportunity for the evening. So, and this is what I will be watching: the Aussie JPY and the Aussie dollar. If you guys don't have any other questions, I want to thank everyone for attending the Monday class. I would like to see you all guys next Monday. I want to wish everyone safe trading and have a good night. Though those lines here are daily pivots, yes. Here in Fifth Trader, we go to pivot. I'm using pivot daily time with settings 4 o'clock for open and 3:59 for close. And it doesn't matter where you live or what your time settings are. Thank you everyone, and I will see you again next Monday.